JSW Group Chairman Sajjan Jindal has thrown a challenge to the Indian automobile industry. They have said that their joint venture with MG Motor India is going to churn, going to disrupt the Indian auto industry, and this could very well be the Maruti moment for new energy vehicles. Joining us to talk about his vision for the Indian automobile industry, especially electric vehicles, is none other than JSW Group Chairman Sajjan Jindal. Mr. Jindal, thank you very much for joining us. A big day for you. A dream come true, so to say?
Yeah, I was always very passionate about cars, and I think every boy, every man is passionate. Nowadays, even the girls and women are passionate. So, yeah, it's a new beginning for us.
Right. So this is clearly something that you had been thinking about since 2015 or 2016. This is not a small investment that you're making. There are multiple plays to what you're doing in Odisha, the kind of joint ventures that you're looking out for, the fact that you want to play in charging infrastructure, also electric vehicle batteries. Why is Sajjan Jindal putting his heart and soul into automobile manufacturing?
Because I believe that this is a moment where India is going to go through a transformation as far as mobility is concerned. And it's an opportunity which, if we handle it correctly, can become a big opportunity. And given India's dependence on oil, import of oil, and the support from the government in the policy advocacy and the changes in the policy, I feel this is a great opportunity, and also it's my passion. So both things come together. So therefore, I'm putting my let's say best foot forward.
Right. You said this could be a Maruti moment for new energy vehicles. What Maruti did to democratize four-wheelers for Indians, what would you like to do in terms of electric vehicles?
No, what I meant with Maruti moment was that it brought in new technology. It changed the face of India from a car which we were using since 1960s. We came in new technology. The new cars were coming every 2-3 years. Maruti was bringing in new cars, a bouquet of cars, and the whole industry got churned and then started to compete. So I believe very strongly that the electric vehicles and the new energy vehicles can do a similar kind of a churn within the industry. If you bring high quality new energy vehicles, then we will save on fuel. We will bring clean cars in the cities, and it will be a new new thing in the country.
Right. Now, speaking about your investment in Udisha, as we spoke, there are different layers to what you're doing in the electric vehicle and the new energy segment. The investment in Udisha, this is a 40,000 crore investment that you're talking about. What was the larger strategic thinking behind this? Because this would probably be the first integrated electric vehicle plant in India.
So our investment in Udisha is primarily to put up a refinery. We want to, we are in the steel business primarily, right? And we like to integrate. It's called integrated steel. So we like to be mining to refining to manufacturing steel to value add steel. So we want to have a full value chain. So in the electric car, we want to do the similar thing. We want to refine lithium and then manufacture the anode and cathode, and then manufacture the cells, then the batteries, then the electric cars, then make the e-drives, then e-tronics. So we want to do the whole thing. And we will bring partners who will also do what we won't do, which are small things. Then we will have the partners who will help us do that. So we really want to make a very comprehensive complex so that we can make it a very cost-effective solution for the Indian consumers.
Right. So this entire 40,000 crores, is it all going to come from the JSW Group, or are you going to raise this through PE investors, through?
We haven't planned that how we are going to do, because this 40,000 is not coming in one go. It is first we will set up the battery plant, a cell manufacturing plant, and then we will backward and integrate with lithium refining, with anode and cathode manufacturing. So this will happen over a period of time. So this money probably will partly come from, mostly come from JSW Group, and maybe from private equity or something. We haven't yet figured that out, that how are we going to do that. But that's not an issue.
What we had read in your speech that you made in Odisha, that construction could begin at this Odisha plant by the end of this year. Probably the facility would be up and running in 2 to 3 years. When do you expect production to begin realistically for cell manufacturing, and when do you expect the first vehicles to roll out?
So, given if I had the choice, I would have been making cells yesterday, because we are already, as a country, we are already behind. We don't manufacture any cells. Today, so many electric buses are running in our country, which we are importing everything. So therefore, I'm really pushing my team to set up the cell manufacturing facility ASAP in Odisha. And also we are putting a lot of pressure on the government of Odisha to allot us the land, and we can start the activity ASAP. And so we are hoping that in next 18 months we should be able to start producing cells.
Right, and now that is very important as far as localization goes. We saw that you had participated in a pre-bid meeting on PLI ACC for electric vehicle batteries. Is that a scheme that you'd like to invest in or participate in?
Yeah, I mean, Government of India has come out with the PLI for battery manufacturing, cell manufacturing. They are really trying to promote this industry in the country, because rightly so, because we are importing so much oil in our country. Our biggest import bill is oil. So if we have to do things to replace that. We can replace that by hydrogen, but then it's still something which is yet to become economical, because there is no production of hydrogen. But that will also happen. So fuel cell vehicles will come for long distance operations. But I think battery is already developed in the world, and today the new energy vehicles are becoming very, very popular globally, and India must not stay behind. And that's the whole idea, that JSW Steel will support this new energy vehicles, and will take India to its rightful place.
Right. When it comes to localization, this has been a challenge for several automakers in the country, and the government is coming up with more and more stiff domestic value addition or localization targets. Now, as someone who is entering the industry, but who has a very strong and legacy manufacturing background, how will you ensure localization early and as fast as possible?
So as I said, that we are in the heavy industry sector, right? We are not in the B2C sector, consumer durables or consumer sector, we are not there. But we know how to do manufacturing very well. We have a very efficient processes where we do manufacturing very efficiently. And we take pride in integrating our facilities, and we handle complex manufacturing extremely well. And auto is one of them. And we work very well with our partners. And again, auto is what you need, good partnerships. So I think what we will do is that we will deeply localize component manufacturing and car manufacturing. We will set up R&D centers, design centers within India, and we will manufacture cars for Indians in India and for people abroad. We will be exporting. That's what we have done with our steel industry. We export 25% of our steel output globally. 50% of India's steel exports is done by one company, that is JSW Steel. So on the similar lines, I believe that we don't have the legacy of auto industry. We have no baggage that we have to do it this way or that way. We are thinking very fresh, and we are bringing our thought process of large manufacturing into the auto industry, and we are going to make a big difference to the auto industry.
Right. Let me ask you about JSW's JV with MG Motor India. Now, that is on one hand, that is going to make mainstream new energy vehicles and also premium vehicles for the India market. And then you have this Odisha investment. Are these going to be two separate entities moving alongside, or will it be a part of the entire JSW MG Motor India entity?
Yeah, it's basically the full integrated approach to the JSW-MG India initiative. So to make the MG cars in India very affordable for the masses, we are going to manufacture in Odisha to supply to integrate with MG, and the Odisha plant could be the second or third plant of MG Motor, because our ambition is to manufacture 1 million cars by the turn of the decade, by 2030-31. That's our internal goal, internal ambition. And by the time India would be producing 7-8 million cars, and we want to be 15% of that, at least the market share, and that's where we hope to be. And that's why the Odisha effort is to integrate to the MG.
All right, Mr. Jindal, this conversation is getting very interesting. I'd like you to hold on to that thought. We're going to take a short break, but we'll be right back. But don't go anywhere. This conversation with Sajjan Jindal continues on the other side. I would also like to ask you about subsidies. The government is keen on reducing subsidies across electric vehicles and wants to end them for certain segments within the next 2 to 3 years. What would be your view and recommendation to the government? We have seen a 500 crore interim EV scheme that has been brought, but that does not mention four-wheelers anywhere. There could be a 12,100 crore FAME scheme that could come for a larger segment of automobiles, but that could only be for 2 years. So your view?
So I'm not a great fan of subsidies.
You're not relying on them?
No. I'm not a great fan of subsidies. I don't want government to dole out money for, but government of course is doing this to attract investments in their areas, in this area, because they want to reduce the fuel consumption, they want to give clean mobility to the cities. So because our cities are not the cleanest cities in the world, as we know, so therefore it's very important that, so government is incentivizing people to buy these vehicles and change. So I think the subsidy part is maybe it has to be a temporary phenomena, but some tax concessions could be given, you know, which could continue and which could penalize the let's say the ICE, the engine which is consuming fuel, and incentivize the clean energy or the new energy vehicle. This kind of thought, I know it that the government is already having that thought and they are already thinking like that. So any new energy vehicle, whether it is PHEV or battery or hydrogen cell manufacturing, must be given some tax incentives, so that industry becomes the mainstream industry. Especially hybrids. Would you bat for a lower tax on hybrid vehicles? Currently, it's around 47-48%. Yeah. So I don't know, but I believe that it has to be, you know, by improving the efficiency of the vehicle, should not encourage you to give tax concessions, because, you know, if you remember, in the past, the cars would consume they would run 4-5 kilometers per liter. Then Maruti came and it went up to 10-12 kilometers. Today it is 15, 17, 18 kilometers. And now with hybrid, it is going up to 22 to 25 kilometers. These are all incremental improvements. So these are not, it is not a new energy vehicle. It's the same, you need fuel. Okay, in this, earlier you could go 10 kilometers or 15 kilometers, now you can go to 20 kilometers or 25 kilometers. But it's the same incremental improvement in technology. Right. That not necessary to call for any incentives. Right. Because that in any case is attractive enough for the customer to buy that car, because it is giving you know, more value for your buck, right? So you don't need to give, and government need not give any incentive. But if I'm putting a new technology, which is otherwise very expensive, and then we need support from the government. Okay, I'd like to ask you about the total investment that you have in mind for your different ventures. 5,000 crores is what this JV and a set of other investors are putting into the MG Motor India JSW JV. You're also looking at a $4 billion investment by 2030 or by 2032 in terms of the EV ecosystem. Looking at what you're doing in Odisha, looking at other investments,
in the next 10 years, how much could JSW Group be putting on the table or investing in India in terms of electric vehicles? And do you feel that this will probably be the biggest investment in the auto sector to date?
So I have not checked what is the investment in the auto sector other companies have done. So I won't be fair on my part to comment. But the whole ecosystem over the next 7-8 years, we would be investing close to $10 billion in the auto industry, in the new energy vehicles, including buses, maybe trucks tomorrow, commercial vehicles. Because I really believe that if India has to change, and if India has to save its import bill on fuel, and if it has to become Atmanirbhar on its own energy sources, then we have to move to the new energy vehicles.
Right. When you speak about new energy vehicles, you've spoken about trucks, you've spoken about buses. When do you begin production of these vehicles in Odisha or at other plants? So, and how would you like to get into it inorganically as well, maybe through some mergers and acquisitions?
Could be. We are open to all ideas. We are very bullish about, as I said, energy vehicles, new energy vehicles, and so we are open to any sort of ideas. But Odisha, I'm very excited about, because battery manufacturing and the whole ecosystem development in a new state, which is not known for auto industry, is a very exciting idea, right? Otherwise, Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, Haryana, Gurgaon belt, and Gujarat are the 4 major auto centers in the country. But we are going to Odisha, new area. But that's the exciting part.
Right. What about an IPO?
That's some time away, long time away.
Yeah, because I think when JSW first spoke about divesting 51% stake in India, they had a plan of an IPO in the next
MG, yeah.
In the next 5 years.
Yeah.
Also, to speak about the current market in India, you have the likes of Tata Motors, MG Motor, the Tata Motors, the Mahindra Group, the Hyundai, Marutis of the world. You also have Tesla, VinFast looking at India very closely. How do you look at the competition?
No, as I said, that I'm batting for India, right? Now, I'm part of a cricket team, and there are other players. Everybody has to score for us to win the race, right? Win the match. So therefore, if Tata does well, Mahindra does well, JSW-MG does well, then we will, India will win in the way. So therefore, we all have to work towards building new cars, new mobility, new energy vehicles, and take India forward.
Right. Now, if we move away from what you're doing in the automobile sector, just to speak to you about your other businesses such as steel and infrastructure, what is the kind of outlook that you have in terms of expanding capacity, making more investments for the future?
Well, we are right now in 5 verticals: steel, energy, infrastructure, cement, and paints. These are the 5 businesses that JSW Group is involved with. Steel is the primary mover, and now we are 28 million tons, and in next 3 months we are commissioning our 7 million tons more capacity. So we'll go to 35 million tons in the FY25. So that is a significant capacity, and we are doing a brownfield expansion in our existing plants to take, by the end of 2030, we should be close to 50 million ton capacity. That is our plan. Similarly, in the energy, we are really focused on our renewable energy, and we are really pushing hard to build more and more capacity in the renewable. Our stated goal is that by 2030, we want to be 20 gigawatt renewable company, but probably will exceed that, and we will achieve that much earlier, because I'm again very bullish, and I feel that India really needs this renewable energy, and JSW can lead that space for the country.
Right. Maybe inorganic expansion in terms of acquisition of a stake in NMDC. What about the cement business listing?
Cement, I think we are already planning sometime this year. We would be looking to do the IPO of cement.
And my final question to you, Mr. Jindal, thank you very much for this comprehensive conversation. But how do you look at the China +1 strategy? How does India take advantage of what's happening around the world right now? Because the companies are looking to diversify. In India too, JVs with Chinese companies are being allowed on a case-to-case basis. How do you think India can emerge a winner in the world right now? And your expectations from the election in terms of the next phase of reforms?
You put too many questions in this. But I think it's a great opportunity for India. The China Plus One strategy and given that we have a leadership of Mr. Modi, who is highly charged and energized and is energizing all of us. So I feel that it's the moment for India, and we are really going to take advantage of this China Plus One. Secondly, wherever we need technology, as you said, joint ventures with case-to-case basis are getting approved from China. The technologies which are not available elsewhere, we need technology from China. Then government is very clear that they will support those kind of projects. So I'm very optimistic that the future of India is going to be very good. And talking about the elections, what is going to happen? I think we are round the corner from that, and in June we will see new government. But there is no doubt that the same government, Prime Minister Modi, will lead us into the next phase of our growth. And this time, but I believe that this time Prime Minister Modi is going to go very aggressive in taking India to a different stage.
All right, Mr. Jindal, thank you so much for speaking to CNBC TV18, giving us your entire view of where you want to take the JSW Group the next 10 years.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.